Good afternoon. My name is Kwame. I'm a Bronx, New York native. First off, I'd like to start this video by sending my condolences to those who've lost lives during that Bronx fire by the Fordham Bronx area. Definitely, send my well wishes to loved ones and friends who happen to be in that situation, as well as having to thank those who are making donations and organizations who are, helping out those families and all the folks that were involved in that situation. Definitely made this video as well, having to go over an array of different topics. And I also send my condolences to those who, lost, loved ones throughout this pandemic or whatnot. And, again, is for as much as like some of the mandates have been, to try to alleviate the pandemic, is like at what point do people, kind of get the ball rolling and having to live normalcy? Because how many other variants would you have to undergo or go through for you to even have that? Is this going to be a way of life? Honestly, I have no idea, which is why, I've opted to take a leave, try to, figure things out and, not having to be rushed to taking the vaccine. I've been out of work since October. One minute, you a healthcare hero. The next minute, you're villainized for having to believe and stand up for your rights and everything like that. And I definitely send my well wishes to those who are just alike or whatnot. And tough to say that the political scope of things isn't changing in favor of the majority of the public. You got people who are still getting sick, still out of work, and you could be using some of those people who you've let go from work or whatnot just to help alleviate with some of these issues. Sure, people would be more mindful of being masked and having to test occasionally to see where your health status is, and that stuff I believe in, as well as having the distance and also sneeze, cough in your garments or whatnot, so you don't spread it about. Hand sanitizers, whatnot, washing your hands frequently. And I feel like a lot of that stuff would help out, because as much as like things like the flu and the common cold's been out, it's like everybody's been living their normal lives. And I feel like as much as the pandemic and the virus has been out and about ravaging sorts of havoc, it's like, how do you got to go about having some sort of normalcy? You get what I'm saying? So in that way, I myself, I wanted to see what would pan out, for the new year, as far as a newly elected official. So far, nothing has changed, and I come to terms to having to take the vax or whatnot, simply to help take care of my family, to continue to do so. And I definitely send my hats to those who also going through the same thing. Definitely big ups to any of y'all having to fight through this, and kind of do your best to do what y'all can to still support your families, whether you'd have to come to terms with it or whether you found a whole nother route. Again, big ups and congrats to those who've done so successfully, because it's definitely not an easy feat for most people. And wanting to add in the fact that newly elected Mayor Eric Adams wanted to instill a 3-day work policy and stuff like that. And I feel like stuff like that would also go to helping out schools as well, staff, students, having a 3-day school schedule in class, and having a 2-day remote that could possibly help out, or however they want to do it in accordance to the parents or guardians' work schedules or whatnot. Because honestly, you want to lessen the exposure to those who may be sensitive in their immune system or whatnot. And I feel like at the same time, you don't want to disadvantage those who are underprivileged and having to get a decent meal, and learning disabilities or whatnot. So I feel like 3-day work and school schedule would be somewhat ideal for the most part towards having to deal with this pandemic, as well as having to alleviate on some of the rules and regulations of the mandate. Because overall, it's really not helping, especially if you see that things supposedly aren't as effective, and then you got to keep going for boosters and boosters. It's like, how many more you would have to endure for people to live some sort of life of normalcy? It's like, okay, the first 2 isn't enough, and then you got to have a third, fourth. Come on now. It's kind of ridiculous. So you know what? By all means, listen. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm trying to make this video as general as possible, and sending my hats off to those again who's been doing what they can, whether they taking it or not, to help their families, friends, loved ones, whatever the heck, case is, definitely look, continue doing your thing, and much love to y'all. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of y'all New Year as best as y'all can. All right, stay safe, social distance, wear masks. If you feel you got to get vaxxed or not, definitely, up to your choosing or choosing or whatnot if you can do so. And again, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your year. Okay, I'm out.